Hello, welcome back to my video. If you are new here, hello. My name is Michelle and I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark and eBay. And today I'm going to show you just a simple 12-piece haul video of the things that I've thrifted this past week. This coming week, I'm taking a week off from thrifting. I will still have scheduled videos that will go up, but I'm going to be working on inventory this week. Comment below, do you have a certain time of year if you're a reseller that you work on inventory? I do inventory no more than twice a year. I know a lot of people do it with the seasons, and if I'm being honest, I think this part of reselling is my least favorite. And what I do is I just go through each of these bins, which you could see I have them on each side of me and in the back here, and I have another room of the house that I also use one wall of, that I also have bins of clothing. And what I do is I go on Vendu and I will take each item out of the bin to make sure it is listed on both platforms. And yesterday there was only 3 things that were not, so it was really good. I started yesterday and I plan to just finish this next week and stay out of the thrift stores. So that is basically how I do it. I take each thing off, I make sure that it's cross-posted, and then I look at it and determine whether I think it's going to sell in this next year or not. Every reseller is different. I mean, there's no right or wrong. Some people keep things, forever until it sells. I mean, and if you have the room and you're not getting bored of seeing, the organized clutter, then of course, like if I had a garage, I probably would sky's the limit. Everything would be organized, but I wouldn't be so, oh, I got to move it out. And in fact, I'm not really like that. A lot of people try to move things out within 3 months, and at the very most 6 months. I do sit on some stuff. Now, when I was going through the bins and I started for inventory, I asked myself, have I been sitting on this since I started Poshmark in 2018? And did it just make it every single year of inventory? It's 2025. So did it just make it? And yes, I have about a dozen things that I simply will not part with because the right person has to come along, a retired, discontinued, or rare item. I have some 80s Adidas pieces. I have a president's birthday shirt, certain things that I'm just not going to part with. Will it sell someday? Maybe, I hope. I have a Disney sweatshirt from Russia, and just, certain rare items like that I just won't part with. But then there are things that I pull from my reselling that I know that's not going to sell. It's usually a brand that is no longer popular, or a style and a brand that's no longer popular. Many brands that I pick up, certain styles are popular, but the brand as a whole is not popular. And so I removed probably about 50 items already. And I do have a Poshmark closet of 3,000 items and an eBay closet of 1,500 items. So that is my little intro of what I'm going to be up to this next week. And right now I just want to show you what I thrifted this past week. And I'm going to just start with the 2 items that I thrifted for myself, because normally I don't always include those, and I decided to. So they had 2 of these little Maeve Anthropology tanks at my local Goodwill for $4.99. That is what the Maeve looks like. Maeve used to be a really good reselling brand, one of the Anthro brands. It's not as good as it used to be. They're excellently made. They're lined. They're usually like a cotton and natural fiber linen blend, and they're not see-through. It's a really nice fabric. So this is just a cute little black and white embroidered, I think it's not peplum. It's kind of like a vesty type of deal. And I probably just wear it with a skirt. And so they had another one that was peplum, and I couldn't decide, and of course I don't need 2, so I just purchased this one. And the next is a little genuine vintage bag that I'm going to style up with a future fit video, and it's just a little gold, I'm going to say 60s or 70s, and you could just tell by looking at it, although someone took remarkable care of it because it has no odors, it has no rips or dings, the handle looks nice. And when you open it, they're usually nylon. The vintage ones are usually nylon, not leather inside. And the brand of this guy is, let's see, Theodore of California. I think I purchased that brand before. In fact, I may have a vintage purse already in a different color by this brand. So I do love vintage. I love very trendy or very vintage. And so normally I try to pair the 2 together just to come up with, a style. So that's why I bought that. And I purchased that for $4.99. All right, moving right along with pocketbooks, I also found this little gem. I used to have a white one like this that I got at Marshall's, but this one is not from Marshall's. I know this is a dupe for, I will put it here, I forgot the brand, Izzy, Miss Rock, I don't know, I don't want to butcher the name. I'll put it right here, what is a dupe for. This is just a really nice red crossover bag. I think I need to snip that off. Looks like maybe it came from a boutique, let's see. No, it didn't. It says made in Italy, and it is Emilio Pepe, made in Italy. That might be from Marshall's or Target, now that I'm thinking, not Target, Marshall's or TJ Maxx. And it is cotton inside, and here is the tag, if you know it. And yes, so yeah, about 10 years ago, I had a white one like this that I absolutely loved. And it's definitely a conversation starter. And I got some wasps trying to get in my window. It's a conversation starter for sure. You know, they have tote bags. They are well made. You want to make sure, it's like a puzzle piece. You want to make sure that there's no peels when you're going to pick them up. And I do spend $4.99. Sometimes at certain cashiers will ring up pocketbooks for $2. I'm not sure how they determine that, but sometimes it's $2, and most of the time it's $5. It has removable gunmetal straps, so you can carry it as a clutch if you wanted, just like that. So I picked up that too. I didn't pick up that for myself, just those 2 items for myself. This is to resell. And then I picked up 2 little pairs of shoes, Dansko, and these are Dansko Light LT, a really nice blue. The color of the week was orange, and they are size 38, which I believe that's 7 to 7.5. Very lightweight. I got those to sell, and this is what I pay at my Goodwill. Okay, so Morels. Let's talk about Morels. Morels used to do very, very well for me, and I used to pick up any Morel, like, because I do retail for, I think, over 100. I'll put how much they retail here. But these Mary Janes I thought were pretty cool in this cognac color, and they are size 10.5 ladies, and maybe a 2-inch block heel, and excellent. They passed the shoe test. When you buy shoes, you do have to do the shoe test, or you should, to make sure that they don't break in two, because there's too many times that I've done that in the store, and so shoes, if they are in warm cold and left outside, brought inside, if weather damage does that and just breaks down the materials, leather, whatever the shoes are made out of, it breaks it down, and then you get something called shoe rot. And so I've sold a pair. When I first started reselling, I sold a pair of Coach sneakers, and she said as she was walking, the bottom sole just fell right off, and of course she got a refund. So yeah, these are just Morels, and I pulled comps, and this style seems to do very well on eBay. I'll put recently solds here. And while I was cashing out, the lady behind me said she's a former airline stewardess, and she looked maybe in her late 60s. She said she was an airline stewardess back in the day, so maybe 80s. And she said it was mandatory that the airline stewardess wear not just this brand, but this particular style of shoe, because it was said that it has a heel, so it gave them height, but it was the most comfortable to be wearing like 12 to 16 hour shifts, she said. So I thought that was interesting. And she said to this day, she still wears this brand. And then her husband commented that he also wears this brand, but not this style. So I thought that was cute. All right, so those are the few items, and now I'm just going to show you the few clothing items. Okay, so my daughter actually found these, just like that Gucci skirt she found last week that she didn't want to sell, because they're not, I don't want to say they're not special, they're plain. So this would be kind of like quiet luxury, as is that Gucci skirt that I found was just a green pencil skirt, but for $5, new with tags. So yeah, so these are just 2 little pencil, one's more of a mini. They're both the same size, and these are not Gucci, these are St. John, and it's St. John, made in Mexico. The fabric's made in the USA, but the skirts are made in Mexico. That's interesting. So this is a size 6. Does it say if it's wool? I know wool skirts do quite well. It's not lined. It's just, I think they call, I'm not sure if that's the Santana knit or not, but it's just a solid color St. John skirt. It just says fabric is knitted in the USA, but there's no fabric tag at all. I know wool skirts do a lot better. I'm looking for a tag, and I'm not seeing a tag, so I will have to figure that out. And then the one in black, I think, was more of a sample sale. If you do sample sales, a lot of times in California, they do they probably do it in New York too. Sample sales, certain brands, just to see how things will do. And this is clearly from that sample sale. And this one has a tag though. Let's see, made in the USA with imported fabrics, dry clean only. It just says 2020 spring St. John. Again, we don't know the fabric, so I need to find that out. And it's just a pull-on skirt. This one's black. It's knit. It kind of has a Chanel vibe to it. It's like that light tweed color, but I'm not seeing any fabric tags, so I'm not sure what they're made out of. So I got to figure that out before I list them. These little skirts retail, I think, for $4.95. They're ridiculously expensive. So I would love to get like 75. I think that's good. 75, 60, 75 would give someone a good deal on that. All right, next is a Land's End plus size, and I'm trying to be very extra picky with my Land's End and Chico's and Shops Ralph Lauren, because I noticed while I started my inventory, I have a lot of that brand. Now that is my bread and butter, but I need to be a little more picky. So XL and up, mainly not even XL, mainly 1X, 2X, and 3X sells the best for me. 1X specifically sells the best out of all three. Plus size, you know, goes higher than that, obviously, 4X, 5X, 6X. But I find that out of 1X, 2X, and 3X, 1X definitely sells the best. And so this is a 1X 1618, 100% cotton, and it has these green palm trees. So I thought it was very summery, even though it was long sleeves. It's lightweight and it has summer vibes to me. You know, if you were going on vacation, a cruise, if you were going out to eat, you know, it just looks really, really pretty and with a tropical look. So with the right keywords, I think that will definitely sell. Okay, and I found these American Eagle jeans, which are also my bread and butter. They have a very tall inseam, tall inseams, I usually try to stick with plus size. However, jeans with tall inseams seem to do well for me. And so that is why I picked it up. This is the American Eagle Flex, and they are in size 28, and the inseam is 34, it says. So of course I take measurements. I find the stock photos, I take the measurements, I put the measurements in the pictures for people, and yeah, so just your basic. And what I usually get for those, I usually get like $29 to $39 depending. All right, next is a very, very, very pretty, I wish it was silk. That would make all the difference in price point, but I picked up this Lauren by Ralph Lauren 2X, so it is plus size. That's the green label, guys. And it's a tiered blue paisley polyester skirt, a full twirl, a huge circumference. If that was laid out, that would probably be like 122-inch circumference. And it's just a pull-on, drawstring, and go. I picture that with either a white, what are they called? Bodysuit. A white bodysuit would look sharp, because anytime you wear something flowy and like larger on the bottom, you're supposed to be having a little more fitted on the top. Not that you're supposed to, but as far as flattering goes, you don't want to look and feel like a paper bag unless you do. So this is kind of bigger and flowy. So usually women would pair it with a more fitted top. And then opposites, if you have a big flowy top, usually you have like skinny jeans or like fitted leggings or something like that. Speaking of skinny jeans, don't you find it interesting that skinny jeans are so years ago and out, but yet leggings that are basically skinny jeans, unless they're flare, regular leggings are fine. So anyways, you wear what you like, right? But I do follow trends as well. I don't take them as gospel, but it's like I follow the trends as well, because I like vintage or super trendy. So this is not Elephant, but Oliphant brand. Oliphant, and they're kind of a batik. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. So this is like raised. It's like, it's almost paint. The fabric's painted. The fabric is definitely hand painted because it had a few drops of gold on it. So they're hand painted, and they retail for, I forgot, I went to the website, I was sticker shocked, put it right here. And so it just buttons up. It's beautiful. I wish it was a larger size, but regardless, it will sell. And this is just a size large. In fact, I don't know if they make anything bigger than an extra large, but I'm going to research it and find out. And this is a very good brand. Again, I'm going to show you this tag just in case you are out thrifting. I mean, it's a bright orange tag, Oliphant, and that will sell. And I'll do a video on it when it sells. All right, next is two Coldwater Creek pieces, and they are silk, and that's why I picked them up. Coldwater Creek has a cult following. This is very 90s to 90s into Y2K, I would say. It has that sheer, but it's silk and it's lined. The sleeves are sheer and see-through. The blouse is not. It's V-neck. The colors are gorgeous. Rich plums, purples, golds, and turquoise. Oh my gosh. I picture that with some turquoise earrings. So beautiful. And your white denim, just beautiful. So, and then I also picked up this plaid one, and it's kind of tailored. It has like these, what are they called? They're not called pleats. Gathering. It gathers here, and it is a button-up, believe it or not. Or no, it's not a button-up. It's a zipper. Look at that. I didn't even notice. I thought it was a button-up. So it zips, but yet the zipper is hidden. So cool. Almost like a jacket. Look at those rich colors. And again, it's silk, which is why I picked it up. If it wasn't silk, I wouldn't have picked it up. And if it wasn't XL or larger, I wouldn't have picked it up. If it was a size medium or large, it would have got left behind. All right, and lastly is this J.Crew size large. I am tampering with size large. Normally, I only pick up XL through 3X. But every now and again, when I find something either spectacular or new with tags or style-based, I will try to sell it. But I need to be mindful of how long I'm sitting on it. And am I buying it because I like it, or am I buying it because I think that someone else would like it? So this, almost like a postage stamp. Look at all that crazy cotton. It does have pockets, and it's J.Crew Indian Madras classic button-up blouse. Women's. So beautiful. Of course, it could be unisex. So nice. I love all those plaids. It's so cool looking. I like it. We're not keeping it, but we like it. Okay, so that is my 12 items plus the 12, 13, 14 items, plus the 2 items that I purchased. And I thank you so much for watching. What have you been picking up lately is the question. And more importantly, actually, is what have you been selling lately? Inquiring minds want to know. Comment below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody's having a good one. Bye-bye.